Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a non-spoiler review of one of my most anticipated movies of the year, In the Heights. The scent of a cafecito caliente hangs in the air just outside of the 181st Street subway stop, where a kaleidoscope of dreams rallies this vibrant and tight-knit community. At the intersection of it all is the likable, magnetic bodega owner Usnavi, who saves every penny from his daily grind as he hopes, imagines, and sings about a better life. Hi everyone, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm Jennifer, and if you're new here, I love talking about movies, reviewing, ranking, doing all sorts of movie-related content, and if you like the sound of that, then consider subscribing. Like I said, this review will be completely spoiler-free, and let me know if you guys are excited for this movie. It comes out June 11th on HBO Max and in theaters, and if you have already seen the movie, then make sure to comment down below what you thought about it, because I would love to hear all about that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So I'm so happy that Warner Bros. Gave me an early screener for In the Heights because this was one of my most anticipated of the year. I'm a huge fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda. I love Hamilton. I love the director attached to the project, and I'm also a really big fan of the cast, so I knew that this was going to be a total blast, and I'm happy to report that it was. And when I went to the early screener, I actually got a chance to see some of the cast members. Leslie Grace, Jimmy Smits, and Olga Merediz were there, and it was awesome seeing them. I was so close to them, and they're literally such likable people. And with that said, I would like to start off by talking about how good this cast is. First off, Anthony Ramos is phenomenal in this role. He's definitely someone that Hollywood has to look out for because I need to see him in more movies as the main character because he led this movie so well. I've been a fan of him since Hamilton, and I've also seen him in a couple other projects. He was also in A Star is Born, but he was so good here. He just has so much energy with this role, and you can tell that he was really having fun, and that goes for the entire cast, but following him was just so delightful the entire way through. He plays Usnavi, and the entire time you're rooting for him and you want him to succeed, and that's the thing about all of these characters. You want them to succeed so bad, even from the first moment you meet them. It's something that like the movie just does so easily, which I think is so impressive because this movie has a lot of characters. And I mean a lot. The cast is huge, including Melissa Barrera, Leslie Grace, Hawkins, Olga Merediz, Jimmy Smits, and so many more. I feel like if I were to list everybody, this video would be way longer than I know it's going to be. And the best part is that although there's a lot of characters, it doesn't feel overwhelming. I feel like there are certain movies where they just push a lot of characters to you at once, and it feels like they're overcrowding it too much, but here, at least in my opinion, I felt that it was added and making it feel like you were part of this block, you were living with them in Washington Heights, and I think by doing that, it made the movie that much better because you are here with these people and you are seeing kind of what they do in their everyday lives in certain circumstances and sad situations, in happy situations, and it wouldn't have been as good and successful as it was in doing that without the amazing cast members, because they're all so great and they have such great chemistry with each other. Like, I loved seeing all of them on screen. It was really great. And speaking of the story, it was an entirely fun party, but I also really liked that it wasn't just all joy, that it wasn't just all happiness. There were also some sad moments in there that actually had me tearing up. Although it has its sad moments, it's still able to bring a smile to my face, and this is a movie that is extremely fun with great substance. It's not just a movie with great musical numbers, even though they have great musical numbers. It actually has a really well written story, and I thought the screenplay of this movie was fantastic. It's engaging because, like I was saying, you care about each of these characters, and obviously the source material is great. Lin-Manuel Miranda, he wrote the original Broadway play, and I am a little bit familiar with it. I've heard the songs, and there are some changes. I don't know if diehard In the Heights fans would be bothered by that. My sister is a huge fan of the Broadway musical, and she wasn't bothered by it, but I personally think the changes that were made for the movie worked in its favor, and I actually liked some of the changes a little bit more. It definitely needed to happen to make it more modern and fit into today's society, and just the things that were being said with the commentary that it had today, I think it was essential that it was added. And it was like so great seeing this, being Latina. Like it's literally like just so happy. Like I was just so happy watching this movie. I felt represented, and I know so many people are going to feel represented, which makes me so happy that a movie like this exists, and I'm just so happy that so many people are going to be able to see it. It's just great seeing the diversity within the Latinx community, because like it's not just focusing on one side, because so many movies do that. They focus on one region, and you get representation from all over, from so many different countries and cultures, and I loved the way that it just had a sense of community, which I loved so much. But the best best thing about this movie is that I genuinely think every single person could take something from this movie. Everybody universally can literally take something from it, and I think that's the wonders of movies, because you get to kind of put yourself in other people's shoes and take something from that. I think the themes of family, hope, faith, and belonging are beautifully shown through this movie, and it's something that a lot of people need to hear, and it kind of just feels like a warm hug, this movie. Seriously, I already know when this movie is on HBO Max. I'm gonna be watching it all of the time. And the funny thing is, usually I'm not a fan of musicals. Like, I love me a good musical, but sometimes I'm really bothered by musicals when there's constantly songs over and over again and there's barely any dialogue and it's mostly just songs. But this movie is the exception. The music is out of this world. I love the style of it. Like I said, comes from the great source material, but I really like the style that Lin-Manuel Miranda does with his songs, where it's like rapping and singing. It works so well, and like the rapping works so well in telling the story. Also, something that I just really enjoyed about it was all like the little catchphrases that it had. It was so nice hearing like words in Spanish. You don't understand how triggered it makes me when it's a movie about like a Cuban family and they don't speak Spanish once. It's all just English. It's like, are you kidding me? What was the point of making them from that country then? So I really liked there were so many Spanish phrases. It literally made me so happy, and I just have to give props to the script for that. One of the funnest scenes in this movie is honestly the 96,000 musical number. I think the song is already out on Spotify. I'm not entirely sure because I know the entire soundtrack isn't out, but what a fun song and what a fun scene. I loved it. But a standout scene as well was Paciencia y Fe, which is sung by Olga Merediz. And wow, is she good. She's literally so good in this song. She actually reprised the role of Abuela Claudia because she was in the original Broadway play as well, which I thought was really cool. So you also got to see that she really understood her role and her place in the character. And that goes for the entire cast. I think they all did a really good job in really understanding their characters and just forming into these wonderfully beautiful characters. But yeah, I really like Paciencia y Fe. That scene was beautiful. I think it was really beautifully visualized, and the way it ended really just stuck with me. Like, it's honestly, in my opinion, one of the best scenes in the entire movie. And I need to talk about Jon M. Chu's directing, because wow, so good. If I don't see this movie at the Oscars next year, I'm gonna be really mad, because I think it has like great opportunities to like be so successful at the awards season. Previous movie was Crazy Rich Asians, which I'm a huge fan of. I love that movie. So when I heard that he was signing on this project to direct, I got even more excited to see what he would do with it, and this movie would not have been the same without him. The shots are so electric and they go so well with the songs, and I love the fast cuts, the wide shots, and I love how we follow these characters, especially in the bodega, like when the camera is following these characters and it's really long takes sometimes. I love it. It really just does a really good job of placing you in this neighborhood with them, which is the best thing a movie like this could do. Because we're in this movie for about 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's a pretty lengthy runtime, and not once was I bored because of these shots, and because I was just so interested in being a part of these people's lives. Like, it was seriously like a pleasure to like be able to see how they lived their lives, and I think none of it would have been the same without the camera work, for sure. And there's this scene, which I'm not going to spoil obviously because this is a non-spoiler review, between the characters Nina and Benny. That scene was beautiful. If you've seen the movie, I'm pretty sure you know it happens towards the end. I cried. It was so well shot. The visuals were stunning. I loved the style that it had. It's definitely filmed in an interesting way, as you guys will get to see. And then added surprise was the effects that would happen on them. Really cool graphics that they would put on. I loved it so much. Or they would put dollar signs. Like, it all went well. It all went really well together. And the movie is kind of told through narrations, and it really makes you feel like you're kind of going into the story with the animations, kind of like if you're going into a book, which I think was really well done in this movie. And they also had split screens to like see what different characters were doing at once. It just all worked really well. Also, something that I really liked, and this goes back to characters, there's a lot of characters like I've been saying, but I think they were all given enough spotlight to shine. I don't think characters were overshadowed. I think all of them worked really well with each other. I liked that none of the characters are left behind. Even, I guess, the least important characters, we got closure with them. We knew what they were doing. And that's the most satisfying thing a movie could do, is wrap up its characters in a really great way. Also, I have to praise the choreography. The dance sequences were great. The ensemble cast was amazing. And I have to praise Christopher Scott, who led the choreography of the movie. It was so good. Like, it just makes me want to dance. Honestly, if I wasn't at a movie theater, I'd be up and dancing. I just know. Wait till June 11th comes when I watch that on HBO Max. I'm gonna be dancing. I don't have any complaints about this movie. Just one thing that might bother people is the runtime. It is long. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is surprising, I think, for a musical, because I feel like they're always a little bit shorter. But I personally loved every second of this movie, and if it were up to me, I'd make it longer because I just loved being with these characters so much. I think where it cut off was good, and it was a really nice, surprising ending, honestly. I loved it. I had such a big smile on my face. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this movie, and I'm going to give this movie, of course, an A+. Yeah, I'm giving this a perfect grade because in my opinion, it's the perfect movie. It's everything that I wanted this movie to be and more. Again, it comes out June 11th on HBO Max and in theaters, but I do recommend the theaters if they're open in your area because this movie just looked beautiful. The colors are great.
Okay, let's ask you a couple questions, okay, about the movie. First of all, welcome to Miami. How do you guys feel being here?
Love Miami!
So excited. Feels like home.
305.
I love it. 305 till we die. No? All right, tell us a little bit about the characters that you guys each play.
All right, I play the character of Abuela Claudia, and she is that quintessential matriarch that everybody goes to for advice, for a home-cooked meal, for a shoulder to lean on. She is, she's been through a lot, and she is kind of like the heart and the center of this community.
What about you, Jimmy?
I play a character named Kevin Rosario.
Kevin Rosario for president, guys.
He's a businessman in the neighborhood that you'll see, and has a very talented, smart, beautiful, super smart daughter.
It's my daddy. Can you tell? What about you, Leslie?
Yes. So I'm so fortunate to play Nina Rosario, who has an amazing dad and an amazing chosen abuela, Claudia. I got to discover a lot about myself through Nina. Nina is the one who makes it out. She is trying her best to do the best for her family and for her community. She's first generation Latina Americana. That's a lot of us in this room, right? And I've never seen a story like hers told on a big screen like this, and like a lot of our characters that we got to play. So I'm excited for you guys to see yourselves on this screen.
I love it. What does this movie mean to you guys? How do you feel, especially when it's coming from like a Latino side, like you just said, Leslie?
It feels amazing. It feels like about time that we see ourselves in this beautiful light, in a celebratory way, and that our stories are able to be celebrated. Again, not to be redundant, but a lot of times we see a lot of the strife and the struggle, and we don't get to see our communities shine the way that we know that they shine. And this musical does it in all of the most beautiful colors and music and dance, and I love that. I feel prouder than ever.
What about for you, Jimmy?
You know, we shot this movie a year and a half ago, and it was supposed to come out last summer. And now that we're in this situation of coming out of this lockdown, coming out of the pandemic, and having a lot of time to reflect, I think, not only about what's happened during it, but social issues that are relevant, whether it be LGBTQ or, BLM movement, or just, we've had a lot of time to reflect. So it's beautiful, I think, that we're going to be able to give our comunidad a little bit of joy as we come out. And you'll, no matter, you can be from 305 or you can be from 310 in LA, and you'll see yourselves, and you'll see the abuela, and you'll see the new wave coming up there, and you'll see yourself. So get the Kleenex out.
Yeah. Prepárate. What about for you, Olga?
Well, for me, I've been involved with this project since its inception. I did many readings and workshops off Broadway and Broadway, and I created this character that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote so beautifully. And we don't have enough stories like this, like Leslie said, and Jimmy, that we need more stories like this one, where we get to celebrate who we are, where we get to be proud of who we are. And I think this movie, I think you're going to love it. You're going to be dancing, but it also has very profound emotional moments too. And I'm just so proud of it, and I know you're going to enjoy it. So definitely tell your friends and family to see it on a big screen.
Love it. And the movie comes out when? June 11th?
June 11th.
Yes, all right.
11th. Hey, bring your boo, your mom, your dad, your abuela. My abuela's in the building for the first time ever to watch this on the big screen. So, just saying, June 11th.
Thank you guys so much for watching today's review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I convinced you to watch In the Heights if for whatever reason you weren't planning on watching it, because this is really the movie of the summer and the movie of the year. It's currently my favorite. I don't know if anything will beat it. We'll see, because the later end of the year looks pretty promising, but this, of course, is going to stay up there. I loved it so much. And make sure to check out my description for a bunch of links. I've updated a bunch of stuff down there. I've added all the equipment that I use for my videos because a lot of people have been asking. And I've also have all my social media links and my second channel links. So make sure to just go down there and just see all the information that I have. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember, stream In the Heights, June 11th. Bye, guys!